Hello, good morning, students. So, we were here. What about the injustice to sharecroppers? We have read this paragraph. Okay. They accordingly went back to Gandhi and told him they were ready to follow him into jail. The Battle of Champaran is won. So, this is again a very important point. Gandhiji said when the other lawyers said that they were ready to go into jail with Gandhiji, the Battle of Champaran is won because the other lawyers were ready to stand in opposition to Britishers. He exclaimed. Then he took a piece of paper and divided the group into pairs and put them the order in which each pair was to quote arrest. Several days later, Gandhi received a written communication from the magistrate informing him that the lieutenant governor of the province had ordered the case to be dropped. Civil disobedience had triumphed, the first time in modern India. Okay. Gandhi and the lawyers now proceeded to conduct a far-flung inquiry into the grievances of the farmers. Depositions by about 10,000 peasants were written down. 10,000 peasants, 10,000 farmers had given their written notice and notes made on other evidence. Documents were collected. The whole area throbbed with the activity of the investigators. Throbbed means crowded with the activity of the investigators and the vehement protests of the landlords. In June, Gandhi was summoned to Sir Edward Gate, the lieutenant governor. Before he went, he met leading associates and again laid detailed plans for civil disobedience if he should not return. Gandhi had 4 protracted interviews with the lieutenant governor, who, as a result, appointed an official commission of inquiry into the indigo sharecroppers' situation. The commission consisted of landlords, government officials, and Gandhi as the sole representative of the peasants. So, finally, the Britishers, the lieutenant governor, he had made an official commission of inquiry. He made an inquiry committee in which there were many landlords, government officials, and obviously the representative of the farmers was Gandhi. Gandhi remained in Champaran for an initial uninterrupted period of 7 months and then again for several shorter visits. The visit, undertaken casually on the entreaty of an unlettered peasant in the expectation that it would last in a few days, occupied almost a year of Gandhiji's life. So it go it went on almost for a year. The official inquiry assembled a crushing mountain of evidence against the big planters, and when they saw this, they agreed and in principle to make refunds to the peasants. But how much must we pay? They asked Gandhi. Now they were ready to pay in to refund the amount. They thought he would demand repayment in full of the money which they had illegally and deceitfully means with cheating, extorted from the sharecroppers. The money they had cheated the farmers and they had snatched from them. So they were thinking, the Britishers were thinking that Gandhiji will ask for the full repayment of that amount, but he asked only 50%. There he seemed adamant. Adamant means in a very particular to his stick to his point. Writes Reverend J. Z. Hodge, a British missionary in Champaran who observed the entire episode at close range. Thinking probably he would not give way, the representative of the planters offered to refund to the extent of 25%, and to his amazement, Gandhi took him at his word, thus breaking the deadlock. This settlement was adopted unanimously by the commission. Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been obliged to surrender part of the money and with it part of their prestige. This is the most important part of the chapter, that Gandhiji initially had asked for the 50% of refund and he was very adamant that he will not accept even a single paisa less than 50%. But when the order came for the 25% refund, Gandhiji was overjoyed because money was not important. Money was not as important for him as the landlords had surrendered their ego with that money. Okay. Therefore, as far as the peasants were concerned, the planters had behaved as lords above the law. Now, the peasants saw that he had rights and defenders. He learnt courage. Events justified Gandhiji's position. Within a few years, the British planters abandoned their estates which reverted to the peasants, indigo sharecropping disappeared. And this way, this problem of Champaran, sharecropping system in Champaran came to an end. So this way Gandhiji initiated the movement, had fought the case legally, and finally got victory. Okay. Gandhiji never contented himself with large political or economic solutions. He saw the cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages and wanted to do something about it immediately. Now, again, a very important question here, students. What was typical Gandhi pattern? What was the working style of Gandhiji? So Gandhiji was not only interested in the political freedom of the people, but he also wanted to take care of the other aspects of the people's life, like their cultural, their social backwardness, their health, their education, their economic conditions. Okay, so in the coming 3-4 paragraphs, you will see that how Gandhiji took care of the other aspects of the people in Champaran. He saw the cultural and social backwardness in Champaran villages and wanted to do something about it immediately. He appealed for teachers Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parikh, two young men who had just joined Gandhi as disciples, as students, and their wives volunteered for the work. So other people also joined his movement. Several more came from Bombay, Pune, and other distant parts of the land. Devdas, Gandhiji's youngest son, arrived from the ashram, and so did Mrs. Gandhi. So he even called his son, his wife there. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages, so he took care of the education of the people there. Kasturbai taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitations. She took classes on the personal cleanliness and the sanitation also. Health conditions were miserable. Gandhi got a doctor to volunteer his services for 6 months. 3 medicines were available: castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Anybody who showed a coated tongue was given a dose of castor oil. Anybody with malaria fever received quinine plus castor oil. Anybody with skin eruptions received ointment plus castor oil. So this way he took care of their health also. Gandhi noticed the filthy state of women's clothes. He asked Kasturbai to talk to them about it. One woman took Kasturbai into her hut and said, "Look, there is no box or cupboard here for clothes. The sari I am wearing is the only one I have." This was the poor financial condition of the people in Champaran. Okay. During his long stay in Champaran, Gandhi kept a long distance watch on the ashram. He sent regular instructions by mail and asked for financial accounts. Once he wrote to the residents that it was time to fill in the old trenches and dig new ones, otherwise the old ones would begin to smell bad. So this way he took care of the sanitation of that place. Okay. The Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhiji's life. What I did, he explained, was a very ordinary thing. I declared that the British could not order me about in my own country. So this way, Champaran episode was a very special, was a turning point in Gandhiji's life. But Champaran did not begin as an act of defiance. It grew out of an attempt to alleviate the distress of large number of poor people, especially the poor farmers. So this was an attempt, this was an effort to alleviate the distress of large number of poor peasants. The problem of the poor farmers could be solved this way. This was the typical Gandhi pattern. And what was the typical Gandhi pattern? The question which I was talking about. What was the typical Gandhi pattern? His politics was intertwined with the practical day-to-day problems with the millions. His was not a loyalty to abstractions, it was a loyalty to living human beings. So he wanted to take care of the day-to-day problems of the people. His politics was mixed with the practical day-to-day problems of the millions of people. Okay, this was typical Gandhi pattern. In everything Gandhi did, moreover, he tried to mold a new free Indian who could stand on his own feet and thus make India free. So he wanted to make the people free from fear. At first, get political freedom, and then the other aspects of their life. He wanted them to take care of their all other aspects of life, be it social, economic, health, sanitation, all these things. Is that clear? Early in the Champaran action, Charles Freer Andrews, the English pacifist who had become a devoted follower of the Mahatma, came to bid Gandhiji farewell before going on a tour of duty to the Fiji Islands. Gandhiji's lawyer friend thought it would be a good idea for Andrews to stay in Champaran and help them. Again, a very important question is here, students. Early in the Champaran action, Charles Freer Andrews, the English pacifist who had become a devoted follower of the Mahatma Gandhi's follower, one of the devoted follower of Mahatma Gandhi's, Andrews. He wanted to take care of the people. He wanted to help people, and Gandhiji's lawyer friend said that it would be a good idea for Andrews to stay in Champaran and help the people. But Andrews was willing if Gandhi agreed, but Gandhiji did not agree. He was vehemently opposed. He said, "You think that in this unequal fight it would be helpful if we have an Englishman on our side? So we don't want an Englishman on our side. We Indians will fight our own case." Okay. This shows the weakness of your heart. If you take help from any Englishman, so this shows that you are weak at heart. The cause is just and you must rely upon yourself to win the battle. You should not seek a prop in Mr. Andrews because he happens to be an Englishman. So you cannot take the help of an outsider, and that too of an Englishman. Though he was an English pacifist. Pacifist means a person who makes peace. But he cannot. Gandhiji said he cannot take help from a British, from an Englishman. He had read our minds correctly, Rajendra Prasad comments, and we had no reply. Gandhi in this way taught us a lesson in self-reliance. So this is the theme of the chapter. Gandhiji had taught them a lesson in self-reliance, how to be self-reliant, how to be self-confident, how to be confident, have confidence in yourself, and how to fight your case yourself. Okay, so self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to sharecroppers were all bound together, and this way, because of this self-reliance, because of this thing, Gandhiji could make the people of Champaran stand in opposition to Britishers, and that is why in this way they could win the battle. They could win the battle of Champaran. I hope the chapter is clear to you. If you have any doubts, you can ask through the online teaching we'll have tomorrow.